Everyone, thank you again for joining us for another informational interview as part of our Career Checks job shadowing program. We're with Victoria today from City Year. And Victoria, thank you for being here. Before we jump in to City Year, can you just tell us a little bit about who you are and a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, thank you, Ryan, for having me. I'm really excited to be able to share this great opportunity. But a little bit about myself is I'm the community partnership manager of City Year. And so what that looks like is that I am the one that goes out in the community and try to create partnerships with different community entities, that being high schools, community colleges, and different nonprofit organizations to create a pipeline for recruitment.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And so I know a lot of our students, like I am, are probably familiar with seeing the name City Year from either emails or like announcements about programs, but they probably aren't familiar with what City Year is, what the program entails. So can you talk to us a little bit about City Year?
Absolutely. So City Year is an educational nonprofit with the mission and the purpose of bridging the gap of educational inequities. And so what that looks like is that our purpose is to have leaders go into the schools to provide SEL services and tutoring to bridge that gap and to make sure that every student is provided the resources for their academic success.
Okay. And so what exactly would a student be doing in this position? What are you looking for in a student? Like what kind of background, but then what would their responsibilities be?
Absolutely. So we're looking for leaders from various backgrounds. We have a core that is very diverse. You can have the background of teaching, you can have the background or the desire to pursue any career endeavors. It really doesn't matter. The only thing that we look for in a leader is to make sure that they have a passion for building up our future leaders, making sure that they have a heart to better students who are especially from under-resourced communities. Those are the target areas that we strive to provide services for. So they don't necessarily have to have any background or leadership background, because in our program we equip individuals with those professional development things. As far as what it would look like, they have the autonomy really to change the environment of our campuses. They have the autonomy to create events wherever there is a need for. If there's a need for engagement, they create events to get students more engaged, get them excited for their education. Just like I touched on, they'll be providing tutoring services, specifically in English and math concentrations, right? And then they'll also be providing SEL services. And what that looks like is that they'll be doing check-ins with them, making sure that they're okay. If they're seeing any behavioral changes, they'll use different techniques and approaches that we provide them with during their training to assist students on really to be able to find words to identify their feelings and just finding different coping mechanisms to really build them up for success.
Okay. And I know that this program it works with Dallas ISD, and so the participants in this program would be assigned to one of a few different Dallas ISD schools, and they would be assigned to a classroom. Are they are they taking the place of a teacher? Are they a teacher's aide? What does that dynamic look like?
So really, they're just an additional support to the teacher, right? They will have an hour one where they'll be able to sit with their partner teacher to really find a common ground. They'll be able to learn their teacher's goals, their teaching styles, and just be able to collaborate to make sure that the students have the best experience. So I guess you can say it's kind of like a teacher's assistant, but really it's not so much support to the teacher. We want to make sure that we emphasize that it's more so support for the students. And so that's why they'll do small groups, they'll do where they'll pull different students and go over lesson plans and again, provide them with SEL services.
Okay. And you kind of mentioned earlier that the program itself, City Year builds in professional development series and programs for the uh, members of this program who participate at City Year. And what exactly does that look like? Is it building them up for a career in education, or what does the program look like after year one? Can they do it again? Do they go off to different career paths? What's that look like?
Absolutely. So that professional development begins prior to them going into the schools, right? They'll be receiving trainings on how to cultivate relationships with school officials, partner teachers. They'll also be assigned an IM. So they'll have an impact manager on campus where they'll be able to be provided professional development. So, they'll be receiving conflict resolution if things are not going so well with the teacher, just finding different solutions on how to facilitate that process. So it will start prior to them going to the school, right? But they'll also be receiving near peer coaching from their impact managers. We also have a LACY program, which is Life After City Year. And what that looks like is that we are intentional of empowering our core members on thinking about their future. And what that looks like is that we conduct mock interviews, we conduct resume building, and then we also pair them up with mentors that are specifically from their sector. So speaking to, do they have to be in teaching? They don't necessarily have to want to be a teacher, right? They can want to be in public speaking. They can want to be entrepreneurship or social work. Any sector that they're really excited about or really wanting to pursue, we will pair them with mentors that can give them wisdom and insight directly from that kind of profession.
And that is a skill, that is a utility that this City Year provides that a lot of companies don't. And it really does set apart in terms of next steps, right? Because City Year, my understanding is they can reapply for a second year if they want. They could do this program for up to 2 years.
Yes.
But at the 2-year mark, that's it. And so the goal is to have built your core, is it core members? Is that the term y'all use? That you have built your core members up to where they can go off into any number of industries and be successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We offer 2 different positions after their first year. It can be a team lead or a service leader. And those are just taking additional leaderships for the incoming core members to come next year, and that they'll be working directly with the impact manager. So we try to keep our core members. So, if they want to stick around, we try to definitely keep them around. And then we also have an impact manager track. So say, for instance, they've served 2 years and they're interested in sticking around with City Year. If we have that position open, we definitely allow them to shadow IMs to see if that's a great fit for them.
Okay. Well, and I know we talked about this off camera. City Year has partnered with lots of companies as well. You'll have good partnerships with both local companies and large international companies in terms of job placements after the program. Can you speak a little bit about that as well?
Absolutely. We have a great partnership with Teach for America. They are also a part of the AmeriCorps. We just recently had a career event where the core members were able to take professional headshots, and they were able to put those on their LinkedIn. They were also given the opportunity to network with those from Teach for America. So it was a really, really great turnout. It was a really great event. And I feel like it really set them up. Even though they may not want to be a teacher, they were still able to grasp some really great wisdom from those in that profession. We also have a partnership with Deloitte. We have a couple of core members that are now data analysis, even just serving from 1 year. Deloitte comes and does different trainings like cultural competencies. And so we have a great partnership with them as well.
Well, and then lastly, last question I have is, and it's not something we talk about a ton, but it's compensation, right? And realistically, this is an AmeriCorps program, so students need to be aware they're not going to be making 6-figure incomes here, but there's lots of benefits because it is an AmeriCorps program. Can you kind of talk a little bit about what that looks like for prospective applicants?
Absolutely. So when they become a AmeriCorps member or a student success coach, they're interchangeably, they will receive a biweekly stipend, and that will be $11.22 pre-tax. On top of that, they'll be able to receive a comprehensive medical health coverage where they'll receive medical, vision, and dental, and that's free of charge of the core member. That's completely covered by us. And then they'll also say, for instance, somebody wants to relocate from a different state. We also provide relocation benefits as well. We facilitate that process. And then the greatest thing about it is that at the completion of the year, at graduation, they'll receive a seal award of roughly around $6,000 that they can put towards previous student loans or future educational endeavors.
And I will say, as a graduate student, the relief that money can bring in terms of student debt or future education, and that also helps to get applicants from all backgrounds. Back
Yes.
people, students who might have come from, their parents or were better well off than others, and so you get a broad background when you provide tuition help.
Absolutely. And kind of speaking to the benefits I didn't mention, but we're also have a couple of well, not a couple, we have a lot of scholarships actually nationwide that we are partnered with, where they'll receive certain percentage of into their tuition as well. And so we have a list that's all listed on our website.
And then now the real last question, and it's not really a particular question, is there anything else that we haven't covered that you want to tell viewers of? Anything about the program or about the future from the program, or just anything?
Absolutely. I just think that City Year is we're nation known, right? But I'm really looking forward to extending our reach, especially in the Dallas DFW area. This is a really great opportunity for those who are still needing that extra time for self-discovery. Sometimes we go into college thinking that we're wanting to pursue one type of career, but then we're kind of taking those courses and it really doesn't interest us, right? And so City Year gives us the opportunity or individuals the opportunity to really find self-discovery, to really learn more about themselves while building those great leadership skills, whether that's in the classroom or whether that's during our beloved days. This is a really great opportunity for them to really learn who they are. And so I'm excited to see our Dallas site grow as people learn more about our opportunity.
Well, and I do want to add, it's a very vital component, is that you don't have to want to be a teacher the rest of your life to do
That's
this.
right.
This can, I don't want to say this could be a temporary stop, but this could just be I'm still figuring out what I want to do with my life and
Yeah.
what particular career. And this is going to give me exposure and also help me better prepare for whatever my future holds. And that, again, this kind of professional development and people building is not something you see a lot in corporate America.
Absolutely. I would definitely agree with you for sure.
And so with that, I just want to thank you for being here, Victoria. Thank you for talking to us and our viewers about City Year and the amazing program that it is. In the description of this video, viewers, you'll find the link to this site. And if you go on Handshake, we normally have plenty of programs going on with City Year. So please, if you're interested, click there and hopefully you apply, because it is a wonderful program.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brian, for having me and giving me this platform to share who we are. I thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank
And we can't wait to see y'all again.